What is the scariest monster you can think of? I must have been 5 or 6 when a friend asked me this. My mind raced for the answer, trying to find the ultimate terror. Even back then, I thought of myself as a creature expert. But nothing felt big enough, mean enough, or scary enough. Another friend turned to us and whispered a secret suggestion. There is a shadow lurking across cultures in an eternal struggle. We try to depict ultimate evil with our limited comprehension. How can we portray true darkness and make fear physical? What is the face of the most terrifying monster? Let us explore the devil we know first. First is the problem of evil, and second is fear. Both abstract concepts are widely understood, but hard to visualize. Let us start with evil and how we depict it. Depicting a cruel action is simple enough for any storyteller. But imagining a physical embodiment of evil itself is challenging. For centuries, visual media has employed different methods for this. From early tricks of light and shadow to modern effects. The most common shorthand is to copy a classic look. You sense a gathering power, ancient and malevolent. But if that was all it took, Halloween would be scarier. Just because a story tells you it is the Lord of Malice, it does not necessarily mean that you will believe it. Simultaneously, there is a constant, lonely howling of wind blowing through. Creating a figure that personifies evil is about characterization. After all, cruelty is not an aesthetic, but a behavior. One landmark in portraying wickedness comes from classic animation. An unshackled vision of demonic terror and spiteful power. Using its power to create life, just to watch it struggle. A macabre circus of agony led by a spiteful king.
Let us now consider a colder kind of abyss.
It is difficult to empirically measure evil beyond feelings. Most philosophies recognize 2 major categories of unkindness. First is moral evil, the result of intentional actions, where bad intentions multiply into cruel and painful deeds. Second is natural evil, the result of impersonal phenomena. Most people find intentional cruelty far more terrifying. A giant beast destroying a city is a natural disaster. But a calculated attack feels much more personal and cruel because of the conscious thought behind the misdeeds. Narrator. This is the subject of endless philosophical debates. But let us define evil as bad intentions with cruel actions. So now we seemingly have a formula for the ultimate monster. Find the entity that has done the worst things. And we have our winner for the absolute worst. Well, not so fast, because we forgot the second half. We must also address the crucial question of fear. Just because something is unethical does not mean we fear it. Fear is a primal, irrational instinct inside us. Consider two dark gods from a popular animated series. One god rules over a plane of eternal agony and torment. A sadistic layer cake of nightmares designed to punish. It is like every underworld rolled into one place. In contrast, the other god is cold and calculating, whose motivations are like those of an unfeeling machine. He is not traditionally immoral, yet he is far scarier. There is only darkness for you, and absolute silence. This cold, unyielding presence represents a different kind of dread. A threat that cannot be reasoned with or stopped. Fear is more than an equation. It is primal. Let us examine the concept of the colder Inferno. A frigid, calculating evil can feel much more menacing. In classic literature, the heart of hell is frozen. A vast frozen realm robbed of passion and light. We see this idea echoed in modern fantasy sagas, where the most terrifying threat is the icy winter. Led by an enigmatic king of ice and death. A figure of immense, uncalculating, and silent malice. Some argue this is the ultimate form of terror. A cold intelligence far beyond human understanding. Now let us look at the Father of Darkness. A subtle intellect can be far more disturbing than brute force. This concept is pushed to the extreme in dark fantasy. A nightmare figure who, despite possessing near infinite power, seems unassuming and even forgettable at first glance. in a world filled with titanic dragons and giants. He is a patient malice, content to manipulate. Making the world his plaything through small contracts. He operates under similar principles of quiet control. A seemingly all-knowing taker of souls in the Wild West. Whether he is the devil himself is left up to interpretation. These entities retain their unknown and terrifying gravity, never lifting the veil upon their true, dark nature. What are you, really? They feel hopelessly beyond the scope of human influence. Forces that can be neither slain, halted, nor understood. The greater the scale of horror, the greater the impact. Beyond a certain threshold, it is hard to take seriously. A villain destroying the universe is less scary than one destroying a home. Because our minds can easily quantify the latter. Let us now discuss the Pale Horseman. Even an all-powerful embodiment of darkness can fail to terrify. Perhaps the most terrifying monster is a quiet whisper. An evil so understated that it sinks into your bones. Such a nightmare stalks the bleak landscapes of old films. A man cloaked in black, known simply as the Stranger, who urges others to indulge in their darkest impulses. What makes this depiction of evil unforgettable is its weakness. He seems almost feeble, showing fear like any mortal. Despite the fact that his name translates to the devil. The Stranger is an unassuming instrument of darkness. Could it be the ultimate representation of our fears? With a hypothetical as extreme as the scariest monster. One might want a portrayal that is both subtle and mighty, in equal parts personal and gargantuan in scale. A familiar and quiet terror that we all recognize. A dark force that looms over the entire world. Let us look at the principal antagonist of classic stories. A villain who plans to destroy and recreate the world. A threat that seems too big to comprehend. He simultaneously embodies the terror of a cruel parent. A relationship of control and quiet malice. He was once a simple, childlike being who rebelled. A cycle of misery recognizable in ancient mythologies. The idea of violence across generations of gods. A theme that holds relevance for all devilish figures. Who tend to be fallen angels cast down from grace. A threat both impossibly cosmic and uncomfortably personal. A paradoxical nightmare that successfully combines extremes. Let us now look at the devil you don't. The difficulty with making assertions about the ultimate monster is that it is almost impossible to escape the pattern. Yes, the Prince of Darkness might be the obvious winner. But is he really as unsettling as an intimate malice? An intimate malice might easily get under your skin. But is it as powerful as death itself? Death might be the creepiest performance of all time. For any monster you might imagine, another can counter. With one that they consider even scarier. This pattern has existed in storytelling for a long time. Always trying to introduce bigger and darker versions. This escalation has followed a very similar structure. Going from classic devilish figures to cosmic voids. A primordial void of death and silent decay. A force that is among the most foreboding of all. But whether such a force is more menacing is up to you. You shouldn't be here than anything that might crawl out of it. But someone else may find a physical demon scarier. The pinnacle of monstrosity is a personal choice. Defining ultimate evil is a question of perspective. And it is a question that does not have a single answer. Fear is a slippery, evolving thing inside our minds. So surely true darkness would have many different faces. And the most terrifying monster could wear multiple masks. Reflecting on the apex of terror is a valuable exercise. Thank you for watching, and stay curious out there.